Hi everyone, welcome to Starsight. Sorry about the noise in my neighborhood. It is a Saturday evening and everyone's out just talking and children playing in the streets. It's actually really nice. So, today we're going to channel some messages for you in relation to your friendships. What you can do before you choose a pile is either to pick specific friendships in your life that you'd like some guidance for, or you can set an intention to just receive the insights here and then apply it to the friendships that come to mind. We just want to see if there's anything you can do to improve those friendships, but also if those relational experiences are unlocking something in you that you need to pay more attention to. Okay, so pick your pile. If you need more time, please pause the video, and for those of you who are ready, we'll start the readings. Oops. All right, pile 1. Now, I don't know if this is pronounced Rajas or Rajas. I'm going to call it Rajas. If someone knows who's listening, please put the pronunciation in the comments. So all the cards here, I shuffled the decks, I pulled cards out for each of the piles. I'll see them with you. I don't know what they are. But this card on the top, that's also shuffled and pulled out of a deck, but I keep it upturned so it helps you pick the pile. I'm tuning into your energy. It feels like a person who's very confident, very much in touch with who they are, unapologetic, and also having a lot of energy to do what they want to do, what they need to do. Very dynamic energy here. Sorry guys if the noise in the neighborhood is too much. It's kind of distracting me too. Sorry about it. There's a loneliness to this energy. Like you're really confident, the life of a party, people appreciate you very much. You're visible in the ways that you want to be visible. But there's a loneliness to you. It's almost as if you're not confident about being confident. That you're worried that you outshine others in a way that makes them feel resentful. My ears are popping as I channel this energy. I don't know if that means something to you. You could be clairaudient, or your clairaudience could be coming online at this time. It feels like everything is good where you are, pile 1, but there's a nagging loneliness here. So it could be that you're suspicious of your friends, that you are not sure why they're in your life, if their friendships are selfish, if they're around you because they're hoping to get something out of you. You're not able to trust that they're not resentful of you. And this does not have to be your paranoia. Things could have happened that have made you feel that it's true, that your friends resent you in some way or are uncomfortable with your light. They could be going through certain things in their life, or they could be suppressed in some way, which is why they got attracted to you expressing your light. But now, instead of you rubbing off on them and them starting to access their light, they may be sinking deeper into their darkness. I think maybe you're deciding whether they're going to go with you in the next phase of life. You may be deciding at the moment if certain friendships are real or not, and if you should break up or move away from them in some way, distance yourself from them in some way. But it's hard because you really want their love. You really want their love. This is coming across as classic Leo energy, where you want to give love, you want to receive love, and any kind of shadowy, psychic, secretive conflict is really hard for you to tolerate or navigate. But there is a darkness within you too, pile one. And we need both light and dark. It's not a negative thing at all. And that darkness is to do with power. You like being in charge. You like feeling powerful. And there is something about these friendships that don't make you feel powerful. Now, that could be both a learning experience and something that you need to distance yourself from. It can be both at the same time. Yeah, something difficult that is coming through, pile one, is that you may have picked these particular friendships because somewhere inside of you, you knew that they were not as evolved as you were. Not at the level of the soul is perfect, but at the level of their incarnation, whatever their personality is, whatever they have, whatever level of maturity they have been able to access in this lifetime, there's something within you that kind of knew that they're not at your level yet. And that might also have been why you created these friendships, because you wanted to feel like you were the better one. I'm not saying this as if you were thinking all this consciously like a devious mastermind. I think this is all unconscious motivation. But this is really something to understand, because unconsciously, if you've chosen these friends for not being as evolved as you are, and then at the conscious level you're very angry about it, that they're not as evolved as you are, this might be something to resolve at your own level. This could be a lifelong pattern, again, leaving you feeling really lonely. And so here's the conflict that I'm seeing. Either you can be powerful and you pick friends that make you feel that way about yourself, or you can be not lonely, not alone. Because that pursuit of power in this form, if this resonates with you, that is the source of the loneliness here. Because you're not picking equals, or you're not picking people who would really be able to see you. You could be picking friends who are more invested in sort of reflected glory. Yeah. So if this message resonates with you so far, pile one, this could be the right pile for you. But if it doesn't, like if nothing in what I've said so far resonates for you, I would totally click off. Yeah, you can try choosing another pile, or this reading may not be for you today. All right. Let's see what your friendships need from you. Yeah, 5 of Swords in reverse. The Moon in reverse. Yeah. The 8 of Cups in reverse. Yep. Look at all of these cards, all blue, all about the night, the dark, all reversed. And both of these cards have Pisces energy. Specifically here there is, I think this is Saturn, right? Yeah, Saturn. For some reason I was seeing Jupiter. Wow, there is so much disturbance today. I'm so sorry. And this is Aquarius energy here with Venus in Aquarius. Astrologically, these cards really affirm what I was just saying, which is that you would like to be the Jupiterian energy in your friendship group. You would like to establish as the king, as the leader of the group, equality, parity, but you would do it as the leader of the group, you know. Out of the largesse of your heart, or out of your generosity, you're saying we're all equal, but everyone knows that you're the undisputed leader of your circle, of your group. This really feels like a shadow motivation pile 1. The need to feel powerful in comparison to others. I don't think that your current friends are resentful of your actual light, pile 1. I think they're resentful of this. Somewhere inside, they know that you've picked them because they're not on your level. You've picked them so that you can feel powerful in a way. That's what they're resentful about. Actually, I see a lot of loving energies in your friend circle. People who actually want to learn from you. Genuinely, they want to learn from you. They want your love, but it's really the case that they want to nurture you. They see your light and they feel, they find it precious and they want to protect it. And it feels to me that they may not be evolved at the levels that you'd like them to be, in the sense that they may not be as cool as you, or they may not be as smooth as you, or they may not be able to think on their feet like you do, or they may have trouble deciding where to go in their life. But I think at the level of their hearts, they're very open. And there's no competition, right? But they seem to be capable of really loving you, really seeing you, and having no beef with your success. They're not jealous. They don't feel like people who want a piece of you. They feel like really good-natured people, pile 1. But if there's tension right now between you and friends, I think it's because your shadow may have exposed itself at some point recently, where suddenly there was a sense that you thought little of them, or you didn't see them in a great light and they picked up on it. I feel like they're really hurt. And I'm not saying all of this to make you feel bad or anything, just so that you can have a more holistic understanding of the situation, that you can have a better sense of how you can approach it or write it if you would want to. If you want to make amends or have a conversation or try figuring it out, you can just have some information. For you, there's an abandonment wound at play here. There is either it's happened in the past, or you have an unconscious belief that if you're not the most powerful in the group, you won't be loved. You have to be the most lovable in a group. You have to shine the brightest. It could be also putting a lot of strain on you, this internal demand to always be the brightest, to always know what to do. I feel like your friends really see this shadow self for what it is. They may be hurt, but they also understand it. Maybe you've shared something of your life with them, which is why they know why you're acting this way. They know what is at stake in this shadow. It's not something nefarious, for example. They know that you're not being malicious or evil. It's just your desperate need for love. It's the other way around, pile 1. If you've thought so far that you see them clearly and they don't, I think it's the other way around. They see you clearly and you don't. And I feel like they're choosing to stay. That they've decided that they're going to see this through, that they're not going to abandon you like you worry, like you fear. So you in the beginning we said that you could be thinking about, leaving these friendships behind to get into a new phase of life. I think you might be doing that. If you're doing that, you might be doing it as a preemptive measure. Let me abandon them before they abandon me, but they're not planning to. Let's see what the big picture is here with the situation. The mystic rose. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. We are nature, becoming grounded embodiment, living in connection, and lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess here for this. Soul call, gather. Through this situation, you are learning to really be connected to others. Not just in the sense of you being the leader of the group, but you being one of them, one among many. You learning to act from a place of humility, from a place of devotion, where you're devoted to the connection, not to your own needs or your self-image, but you see something in the connection as bigger than you, as grander than your needs. I feel like through this situation, you're really learning what friendship means, what being for each other means, because I think your friends are doing that for you, Palwan, and that's so rare. That is so wonderful. You have true friends in your life who are not scared of your shadow. They may be hurt by it, but they understand it, they understand you, and they're not scared of it. This is what it means to be devoted to the connection beyond your personal self. So they are hurt, but they see it. They see how much it means to them to nurture you and to nurture this friendship. This is going to make a difference to many parts of your life, because I think it'll initiate this learning around your beliefs with lovability and love. Also cleanse your drive for power. We all have it, but to alert you to the shadowy ways in which that drive to power may have expressed itself in the past. Because I feel you moving into a lot of Aquarian energy. So from Leo energy to Aquarian energy, where the group is greater than the individuals, where the sum of the parts is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, where there is true parity. It's not you granting it to others, it just is there. You're moving into a phase of life where you really respect your friends, where they're not means to an end, where you're not deriving self-satisfaction through them, but it's like you are truly participating in their lives and inviting them to participate in yours without any conditions. Like, you can come here only if you see me as powerful and cool. No, just come and tell me what you see, and I accept it and I welcome it. There's relief here for you too, pile one. So whatever we think is important for us to feel lovable and good, we feel like we have to keep doing it. We can't drop the ball even for a second. And even though we want it really badly, it can exhaust us, and your friends are teaching you it's okay. You don't have to be one thing all the time. Freedom, right? Freedom, surrender, new blueprints, absolutely. This is a totally new phase of friendship that you're being ushered into, and you're being granted freedom from your own beliefs. And your advice is to surrender to this moment. Next time you're hanging out with them, don't have all of these. If you can, slowly free yourself from these controlling intentions of controlling the group and how it goes and how it sees you. If you usually dress up, don't dress up. If you usually meet at a very particular place for a very particular impression, don't do all of that. Just be as real as you can. Let's see what friendships, what role friendships play for you in this incarnation. Yeah, this is a very strange image. So it's like two children, though this feels like an older child, are pointing at the crotch of a masculine person, and then in the background there is a trunk of a tree rising, which is also phallic symbol. The fingers are also phallic, the toes. So there are a lot of phallic figures in this particular image, and the term here is object. Now, in psychoanalytic thought, which is a particular branch of psychology, of therapy, we think of the phallus not just as the penis, but as any object that makes us feel powerful, that makes us feel like we have it, that cool thing, that it thing. This is so on point, Palwan. And I feel like you've been in search of that. And for a long time, you have felt like that it thing for you has been to have a bunch of people around you experience you as cool, experience you as powerful. Like in their eyes, if you're powerful, then you feel powerful. Like they have to be pointing out at you, pointing out at your it thing. Oh, you're so this or you're so that. And then that makes you feel powerful. So it's not actually an authentic sense of power, but it is power that is derived from other people's perception. And the amazing thing for you, Palwan, is that you have friends who see you beyond this need for being perceived as powerful. They see you as you, something that you may not have access to at this moment. You may see yourself only through this lens of whether I am it or not, powerful or not, lovable or not. So I'd say keep these friends really close, but also make a real effort to understand the ways in which your shadows may be playing out in your friendships. You can also take their help. You can also say, here's something that I've been noticing about me. I have also noticed that you seem to see this. Can you help me make sense of it? And I'm pretty sure they would. They'd be happy to. I'm sending you so much love, Pile 1. Ending your reading here. I'm sorry that in the beginning my thoughts were a little jumbled. I spent a lot more time just deciphering the energy than I usually do. If you're still here, look at this face here. There's a lot of pain within. Pain that you have dealt with by focusing on this need to feel powerful. As you do this work, Pile 1, this pain will come to the surface, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Alright, that's your reading, Pile 1. Sending you a lot of love. Hi, Pile 2. We have the Agya Chakra here for you, which is the third eye chakra. You know, I think that you are in very good intuitive energy right now, and I feel like you've understood something huge about yourself recently. A pattern that you've understood, some self-knowledge has clicked into place. And it's been making you feel disconnected from your friends. So maybe this is a particular kind of evolution that you're experiencing where you feel like a very different person, whereas your friendships have been created at a time when, when you were not this person, and so your friendships feel like they correspond to that older self, whereas you're somewhere else. And you're very happy where you are, though I think that your friends may be looking at you a little concerned, like, what are you doing? Are you all right? And though you say to them, I'm really happy, they may not believe you, and that could irk you, that could annoy you. You could be thinking, see, we are not in sync anymore. I feel a lot of revulsion in your field towards your current friendships. Revulsion is probably a strong word. I don't mean disgust, I just mean like it's such an energetic mismatch that you just don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to be friends anymore, though they haven't done anything wrong. It's just they're not, your heads are not at the same place. You don't care about the same things anymore. You feel like an outsider now. You want to be alone. It's not that you want other friends, you just would like to be alone, and there could be a lot of pressure on you to socialize. You keep making excuses, I'm hearing, or you haven't come out with us for the last 4 weeks, now you just have to, and you really don't want to. Just want to be in your own world, which is feeling like it's flourishing and thriving, and you're very happy and at peace. You may even be taking a break from any kind of romantic engagements, or you could be in a stable romantic relationship. Because at the level of romantic love, there seems to be a lot of peace. There's some toxicity that you've discovered within you, and you see it reflected in your friendships too, because you were all at one point pretty similar. Now you have changed, but they could still be in that same energy. And so because you've just very recently broken away from that toxicity within yourself, there could be a lot of hesitation in encountering that again in your friendships. Okay, I just managed to free myself from this. I don't want to get entangled again. So there could be that kind of a fear that if you go hang out with them again, you'll be sucked back into that shit. You're trying very hard to keep a distance without actually saying, leave me alone. Alright. Let's see what your friendships need from you. Yeah, 10 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Cups, yes. And 10 of Coins in reverse. So these could be really old friends or friends that are connected to you in multiple ways. You hang out, but then you also work together. You could have familial entanglements, like these are, how childhood friends are almost like our family members, and so they're also invited to our festivals, and they're also invited on holidays and things like that. So these could be friends that you're connected like that on multiple levels, where different parts of your life are merged with each other, and so saying goodbye to them is harder than saying goodbye to other friends, because it would mean severing all of these old cherished ties that go much beyond one-on-one interactions. But it feels like you're really in an assessment mode right now, not just with your friendships, but with your whole life. Like the Seven of Cups is about, these cups, some of these cups are full of real treasures, and other cups are full of things that look like treasures but are not. They're actually a snake and a bug and a snail. And so this is how you're looking at your entire life. Have you misrecognized snakes to be treasures, and bugs to be your friends, and snails to be your fastest path forward? It's a lot of aligning work that's happening around your inner world and your outer world, and your friendships are part of that assessment effort. But also within these friendships, at the level of these friendships too, there are these two aspects to them. There are some aspects of these friendships that are very precious to you, and then other aspects which you think are holding you back or are harming you. So for example, there could be a friend who has been with you through thick and thin, and you love them and you're very grateful to them for their support, but you don't like it that the only way that they'll hang out with you is at a bar, or the only way that they'll hang out with you is by, spending money, or playing video games, or just having really meaningless time together, like talking about things that don't matter. So you love them, but you don't like that this is the only way they think you guys can spend time together, and you think that those times are not good for you at all anymore. So you are feeling like you have to reconcile these two different aspects of your friendships. What do I do with the stuff that I am devoted to, and what do I do with the stuff that puts me off now? And this could be something that's actually been a source of stress for some time, not knowing what to do. You don't want to hurt them, but also you're just sick of it. Whatever aspect of friendship you don't like, it feels like you're sick of it, you hate it. There's a very strong emotion here. Let's see what the big picture here is. Plant yourself here. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity, integration, embodiment, grounded action, and the wasteland, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. All right, it's begun raining. Good, because the land here is feeling really parched. Yeah, so there's a connection between this card and this card. This card says plant yourself here, make your garden here. Whereas in this card, this person is kneeling down on a wasteland where nothing can grow. It's barren. But as this person is kneeling down and surrendering, there's a rose on their back. Water is sort of bubbling up, and they don't know it yet, and they have their ancestors and their guides protecting them. And there's grass where they're kneeling. All right, so here's what's coming through pile 2. The friends that you have in your life are real. They're stuck in some patterns. That's true. They are. but it's not the entirety of them. What you need to do is have a conversation with them from a place of commitment. So not a conversation in the sense that, I don't like this, and if you don't make changes, I'm going to bounce. But a conversation from the place of, I love you, I've been changing in these ways, and I feel like our friendship hasn't, or these modes of spending time together haven't, and I'd like to now spend time in this way. What do you think about that? Would you be on board? This is not the end that you think it is. It's the beginning of a new phase of your friendship itself, a new phase in your relationships, where you don't judge people as treasure or snake, but actually create an atmosphere of trust, for them to see themselves, create an atmosphere of faith where you can expect that they will hear you, that they will listen to you, that they will not be defensive, but will actually be allied with you in your objective of experiencing a good time in this friendship, experiencing a meaningful time in this friendship. Whoever these friends are, they have real love for you, but more importantly, I think you have real love for them, which is why this has been so stressful. But you can trust that love and try working this out at the level of the relationship, even if there's a little bit of separation, even if your friends say, I don't want to do this for a bit, you'll come back together, returning to each other. You'll come back when the time is right, when there is greater alignment. This is not the end, pile 2. And it's not going to end badly either. It's just a little bit of a transitional time for you and your relationships. That's all. Let's see what you can muster within yourself to do this. Alignment, right? Exactly. Crystal keys, alignment, and throat chakra. Express your truth. Oh my God, I love when this happens. Exactly. Do I have to explain these cards? No, right? Let me start with crystal keys. Crystal keys are about both cleansing yourself and also activating the deeper parts within us, or activating soul energy within us, because crystals carry that frequency of the earthiest earth, Sorry, I'm not very articulate right now, but crystals carry this frequency of purity. But what I'm trying to say is it's like a distillation. Yes, it's the distillation of the forces of the earth. This to me is also about grounding, like that card about grounded action. Plant yourself here. Crystal is both grounding and also ascending at the same time. Your friendships are like that, pile 2. They're both places of grounding and also places of growth. And you may not see it right now, but expressing your truth is going to be that moment of growth where you get initiated into a very particular form of adult relationships where people don't have to be in sync and yet they understand each other, where people don't have to be on the same page and yet they are able to exist together happily and with love. So far, friendships could have been easy in your life, the easiest part of your life, where you don't have to think about all this, where you don't have to negotiate, where it's just, you can just hang out. It's easy. It feels natural. It feels good. And now to actually even plan a conversation feels like the loss of an era where you could just be and hang out. Yeah, it is a loss, pile 2, but it's also growth. This also signifies growth, that you're ready for your friendships to look different. There's a bit of nostalgia here. I wish that we didn't have to have these difficult conversations, that kind of a thing. There could be something at stake here, something that like you could have shielded your friendships from difficult conversations always, that you could have made sure that friendships unfolded in a zone of non-seriousness or casualness, and now you're having to commit to them in a serious way by saying, I want to improve them, I want to do something about them. This is giving you jitters for some reason. This might be something to investigate, pile 2. Why is that so? Why was it important for you to keep your friendships easy? Let's see what role friendships play for you in this lifetime. Again, the motif of the garden, the gardener. And here we have a father figure and a naked child. I think both of these are you. You want to be this carefree child, with your friendships. Like things just happening by themselves. Just hang it all out. Is that the right phrase? Sorry if it's not, sounds really gross. And you're having trouble integrating this father energy, which is also within you, who wants this tree to grow in a particular way, who is not as carefree as this child, who's content with just playing with the grass as it's growing, whereas this father is more intentional about what they plant and what grows and how it grows and what the shape of the tree should be. You're feeling resentful about having to adopt this father energy and letting go of this carefree child energy within you. You could have a Saturn transit happening right now, pile 2. This is very typical of a Saturn transit where you feel forced to grow up in a way that you're not ready for, and at the same time you've already done it, right? We started with the Agya Chakra. Like you're already this father figure, you're already this grown-up intuitive person, but for some reason you want to keep your friendships in another zone, and that's not going to work. You know it's not going to work because you yourself are really dissatisfied with that. Yeah, so this is not on your friends really, and it's not on you either. It's no one's fault. It's just, rite of passage. Things are changing. So express your truth. Work this out with your friends. It's going to be possible to do it. And once you fully accept this father energy within you, you're going to find that the child energy is still intact, and you will find ways of marrying both. You will find ways of expressing both. Don't be afraid that this child is lost forever. It's just time right now for this father energy to be in play. That doesn't mean that this child is lost. All right, pile 2. That's your reading. Sending you a lot of love. Pile 3, Tantra. So I draw all of these cards, including the top card, after shuffling and setting intentions for all 3 piles. And I was surprised with getting this card for a reading about friendships, because Tantra in this deck is about the balance of masculine and feminine energies, but in relationships. And typically that balance manifests as a kind of sexual union or a kind of romantic, like a moment or a phase of romantic bliss where there is balance, but there's also polarities. So one person is embodying yin energy or the feminine energies, and one end of any polarity, and the other person is embodying the other end of that polarity. It does not have to be feminine or masculine. It can also be something like, I like to read out aloud and you like to listen. I like to drive and you like to be in the car when it's being driven. Like, there's a balance of sorry, I'm losing my words here. There's a balance in this sense of 2 people just feeling like they're a fantastic fit because of their differences. Because the differences are in, what is the word? They're congruent. There's congruency, right? So I was surprised at getting this card because I wondered if it meant that there are some friendships in your life where boundaries are blurred between friendships and romance. Then your guides came and said, no, it's not that. It's not that there are romantic overtones to your friendship. It's that you are seeking love in a way that is interfering with your friendships, or you are privileging romantic love over your friendships at this point. Now, it doesn't have to be necessarily a negative thing. It can be a necessary thing. For example, if your wife is pregnant, you have to pay more attention to your wife. Or if your children are at a particular stage of their growth that you have to spend a lot of time parenting, things like that. So it doesn't have to be necessarily negative, but I think that you're engaged in something romantic outside of your friendships that is taking up all of your energies in a way that maybe your friendships are not getting much. But whatever this is outside of your friendship, it's very good. It's very good. You're feeling very happy about it, and as I explained before, the congruency, the balance, the alignment is excellent. There's a feeling here of having finally gotten what you've been waiting for a long time. But it's doing something funny to your friendships. Let's see what's happening here. The Hanging Man. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Swords. maybe your friends don't approve of this partner. Okay, that feels right. Alright, pile 3. Here's what's emerging. It feels like a really specific situation, so if it's not yours, this might be the time to click off. You can try choosing another pile, or this reading today may not be for you. Here's what's happening. I think this partner that you found, or this romantic engagement that you're having at the moment, it is unconventional in some way, or it doesn't fit your profile in some way. It's not your type. This person is not your usual type, and this person may also not fit your friendship circle. So let's say that your friends are you're all techies, or you're all, I don't know, engaged in children's education, and this person is doing something so radically different. This person is maybe, I don't know, a dancer. You know what I mean, right? So this person doesn't fit in your usual circles, but also like your image does not fit your image. That, and by image I don't mean something inauthentic, just who you are generally. And your friends could be very suspicious of this match, whereas in your heart, in your body, it feels so right and it's going so well. So at some point when you realize that they were not on board, or they were having feelings about it, you could have started to distance from them, thinking, let me first figure this out, I want to see where this goes, and then I can always return. I can always come back and say, see, this worked. But what's happening is that the gulf between you and your friends is widening, because whatever this is, whatever this love is, it is changing you. You know, these friends feel more like all of you are same in some way, and that was your glue, whereas with this person, your difference is the glue. These friendships could have been such a big part of your life that the fact that your current relationship or engagement does not fit with them or does not jive with them, it's a source of pain. I don't think that you doubt your decision about this romantic relationship, because you're so certain, you know that this feels just blissful in a way that you could not have imagined even for yourself. But this feels wrong. This feels wrong. How is it that my friends and this relationship, they don't align? But they don't. They just don't. I think you feel either I'm going to have a fight with them. If I see them, if I hang out with them, and if I share anything about my life and they don't have anything good to say, I'm going to have a fight with them. And you could have tried running away from it, not hanging out at all, because you don't want to fight with them. But now it's become its own source of anxiety, running away from them. And it's also somewhat disruptive of your bliss, and you don't like that. I don't want to have to think about this. I'm so happy right now. I feel like you're waiting for some clarity to emerge, but it's not clear to me what the question is here. I think you're trying to understand something mentally. Like, why is it so hard for your friends to see how happy you are? Or is there really a change in you that makes it impossible for you to be in this friendship group anymore? you're trying to understand if they're really incompatible, or it's just your friends being a little boneheaded, like being a little protective or something. Yeah, you're trying to understand if they're really incompatible. And I think, pile 3, you know that they are. But this incompatibility is not really what is at stake for you in this confusion is not really them but you. How could I have been the person who loved hanging out with these friends, who would still like to have that in my life, and also the person who is in this romantic relationship? It seems like you access very different parts of you in these friendships, and then very different parts in your current romantic relationship, and that integration feels like it's out of reach. Let's see what the big picture is here. The Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms, rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. This is exactly the Tantra card. So confirmed here that you are floating in romantic bliss. Pile 3. The fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret begins. Wow, look at the visuals here. So striking. All of these cards are blurred. They have flowers on them, and they have this play of light and dark. You are being advised by your guides right now to just focus on your romantic relationship and let these friendships be for now. There's some growth that needs to happen within you, and also some development in your romantic relationship for you to understand more clearly what's getting awakened within you through this love. Look at these cards. Just pause the video and just feast on these cards. I don't feel like there's much to say to you. It's just the symmetry of the visuals. It's a little bit like what I was describing with the Tantra card. You are dark, I am light. You like to be held, I like to hold. There's something so soulful happening in your romantic engagement right now. It's okay if other people don't get it. It's okay if you don't get it. Just stay with the experience. Unravel with the experience. Let it take you where it wants to. Fall into her arms. Yeah, you might end up drowning in a 6-month honeymoon bubble or something. Let your friends complain. Let people do whatever they need to do. You follow the thread of your bliss for now, because there are parts of you that getting awakened right now, and this is a very important moment in your life, very important spiritual initiation. The gulf between you and your friends, I think, is going to widen, but it's also going to widen in a way that I think you will, if you want in the future, you will be able to connect with them. Right now it feels like you were very close to them, and now you're not. As in the future, it feels like you'll be able to connect with them from a more casual place, from a more detached place. It doesn't feel like an acrimonious end. It just feels like you need to really focus on whatever's unfolding for you right now. So let's see how you can do this better. Soul Star Chakra, merging with the divine. This is also a metaphor for sexual union, or a sexual experience where you feel one with the other. Luminescence and home. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if the person that you're currently with is the one, so to speak. If this person feels like home to you, I feel like this person allows you to be yourself in a way that you haven't experienced before, where they're holding space and your eyes are closed. Like both of these figures have their hearts highlighted, but this person has their eyes open and they seem to be in a holding space, wanting to hold you, whereas your eyes are closed and you're holding yourself. They allow you that. They give you the space to do that, to hold yourself, to be lost in yourself, to activate your inner sight of who you are. But I feel also that they are in a lot of balanced energy themselves, very loving, balanced energy. It's not clingy or attached or codependent. And you love being alone in their presence. Like both of you doing your own thing together. So they're doing their own thing and you're doing your own thing. So you're in the same room, but you're in your own world. You love that. It's not just... This time is not just about your relationship, but also about you blossoming in a whole new way. Your soul energy is coming in really fast right now. There's more space for your soul energy to come in at the level of your conscious life. It's almost as if this relationship is the conduit for it. Honeymoon bubble I said before, but it's not a honeymoon bubble in the sense that you're both constantly in each other's space or constantly doing things together. It's as I just described, it's both of you having your own lives, but knowing that you're together. So it's a really, really beautiful equation that involves both witnessing each other but also having your own thing to do. That's amazing, pile 3. So let's come back to the question of your friendships and what role they may be playing for you in this incarnation. Light. And we have 2 rockets. I used to play a game when I was a child on the computer called Raptor, and this feels like that. Raptors, is that a thing? In the dark, these vehicles are shooting off with wings and illuminating the path forward. But this is also another twosome. I think your capacity to be in a large group is getting minimized, and you might be moving into a phase of more one-on-one friendships, intimate friendships. But also, I think this person that you're with romantically may become your best friend, and that could be something that stresses you out. Like, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Something really big is unfolding, pile 3, for you, relationally and spiritually right now. And like those other cards, here is also darkness again. And your guidance is really to just let this play out the way it will. Don't interfere, just watch. Watch what's happening to you and watch what's happening to your friendship needs, because they're changing radically. I think it's true that the friends you once had You may not be able to connect with them anymore in the way that you used to, but it's not a bad thing. You're worried about hurting them, you're worried about them feeling abandoned. But your guys are really saying focus on you. Don't worry about their feelings right now. Focus on you because something's happening here that you need to be fully attentive to. Sorry if the message today feels repetitive, pile 3. Yeah, focus on you. The thing that the romantic relationship that you're in feels really, really divine. Alright, pile 3, that's your reading. I'm sending you so much love.